Hello, my name is Joshua Vieira, and today I'm going to talk to you about a topic that is widely debated all over the world. However, for the sake of this presentation, I'm going to shift things and speak to it in terms of the United States. The topic is, should the drinking age be lowered here in the United States? My opinion to this topic is the drinking age in the United States is too high in regards to other national age restrictions and therefore should be lowered to 19. Why 19? You may think 19 is an odd age for the drinking age to be lowered to, and why not just 18? And throughout the presentation, I will answer why I believe 19 is the safer and better age for the drinking age to be lowered to. To start the presentation, I want to talk about a visual image that I have attached to this document, to the submission, and it is a world map which color coordinates the countries of the world based off of the age of legal alcohol consumption. And if you look at the map, the United States, India, and Indonesia most notably have a drinking age of 21. There are countries where drinking is illegal. However, most of the countries of the world have a legal drinking age of 18. And in Europe, in Western Europe, the drinking age for most countries is actually 16 instead of 18. Now 16, in my opinion, is a little bit too low for teenagers to start drinking and consuming alcohol. In this presentation, I chose to quote and pull information from 4 authors. The first of which is Dwight B. Heath. Dr. Heath is a research professor of anthropology at Brown University. He has published many articles on anthropology and also published research on the subject of alcohol drinking patterns and the relationship in our culture. The second author I chose to look at was Gabrielle Glasser, a journalist and author of Her Best Kept Secret. She spent 3 years researching American women's consumption of alcohol, as well as the consumption of alcohol by the youth and the addiction of alcohol in our culture. Mary Kate Carey is another author which I chose to look at, and I chose to pull one specific piece of information from her research because I felt like it puts everything into perspective and it makes you think a little bit more about the drinking age being 21 and what it has done for this country. The fourth author I chose to look at was John McArdle, and Dr. McArdle served as the Vice Chancellor and President and also a Professor of History at the University of the South in Sewanee, Tennessee. And he serves as the President of Middlebury College in Middlebury, Vermont. And Dr. McArdle is a strong proponent on lowering the drinking age to 18 because of the experience he has had as a college professor at the specific institutions that he worked at. The first thing I want to quote is Dr. Heath. He said he had a very good point when he stated, in general, the younger people start to drink, the safer they are. And I feel like that's a good quote because it makes you think. The younger people start to drink, the safer they are. Now, again, that's very general, and he can mean an age all the way down to 8 years of age, or he could mean a 10-year-old, 12-year-old, 14-year-old, or 16-year-old. But what I want to talk about from this quote is the younger people start to drink, the safer they are. I think this is important because the exposure at a young age, we are taught a variety of life lessons, and we are taught these things so that one day we'll be successful in the things that we do. I believe that alcohol can be incorporated into this teaching. If alcohol is something that is taught to us by our parents or by teachers in school, I believe that it would lead to better outcomes at an older age when we actually have to deal with alcohol in our environment. I do mainly think that it should be done by parents in the home, but again, that is up to the parents to decide whether or not they want to teach their child about alcohol consumption. But I believe if we recommended it, and more parents would do it than the number that do it now. In 1971, the voting age dropped from 21 to 18. And many states also followed suit by lowering their drinking age from 21 to 18. And the rationale behind lowering the drinking age in 1971 was, if young Americans could be entrusted to vote, serve on a jury, and fight in the Vietnam War, why couldn't they have a beer? And this is a very good point, because if I have all of these rights, and I can do all of these things, why can't I go to a bar or to the store and buy a beer? Or any alcohol in general. Gabrielle Glasser, the author of Why Women Drink, she's a strong proponent of teaching people to drink responsibly before they turn 21. She believes this would enormously help public health. And the reason I liked where she was going with this is because now high school and college kids view dangerous binge drinking as sort of a rite of passage. And binge drinking, if you don't know, is the rapid consumption of alcohol and the intentions of getting intoxicated quickly. Now, the problem with binge drinking is if you drink too quickly and drink too much, you can actually acquire alcohol poisoning. And alcohol poisoning, if not treated, can potentially lead to death. And what that leads me into is a study that was published in the Journal of Studies on Alcohol and Drugs. And the study found that in 1998 through 2005, the number of cases of alcohol poisoning deaths among 18 to 24-year-olds nearly tripled, jumping from 779 to 2,290. It tripled in 7 years. And this is another reason why I believe alcohol teaching before the age of 18 is important to prevent this binge drinking and possible deaths of our young adults. Mary Kate Carey wrote her article about lowering the drinking age, but in specific I wanted to use a fact about the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. They estimated that the law from raising the drinking age from 18 to 21 has saved 900 lives a year. And most states raised the drinking age back up to 21 in about 1980, 1981. And that's potentially about 30,000 lives that have been saved because of this law. And that is a lot of lives. There's no doubt about it. However, if raising the drinking age from 21 has saved lives, then why has it done so? Is it because young adults are more mature at 21 than they are at 18? Or is it because young adults at 18 were more educated on the subject of alcohol? Young adults need to be educated on the subject of alcohol consumption. It is no longer needs to be looked at as a forbidden fruit for teenagers and these young adults. It needs to be taught and it needs to be understood by these individuals, so when they are allowed to consume alcohol, they can do so legally and safely. And the main reason why I believe the drinking age should be raised to 19 and not 18, the drinking age should be lowered to 19 and not 18, is because at 18 years old, we are still in high school, or we are graduating high school. And the younger teenagers, 17, 16, and 15, have access to these young adults, late teenagers, and therefore have an access or a method to acquire alcohol. I believe the drinking age should be 19 because at 19 we are starting our careers, we are starting college, and we are being put into an environment where we are exposed to alcohol more than we were before. And at 19, we separate the high school students from the college and entry career level individuals. And what I believe is that if these young adults were to have alcohol teaching prior to the age of 19 or 21 in the modern case, then they would partake in drinking. They would not partake in drinking in secret. And the secret consumption of alcohol usually leads to more risky behaviors, which in turn causes safety issues. I have also attached a YouTube video which I believe has more facts about why lowering the drinking age to 19 would be important. It would actually help a lot of kids in the United States from avoiding binge drinking and dangerous behaviors. Thank you, and this is why I believe the drinking age should be lowered to 19.